make sure that you have all your policies in check, make sure that your contracts are correct, and that you also know what would happen if XYZ situation happened to your business. And I think that's just as important, and in some cases, maybe even more important. So you can help close off some of those loopholes before you actually really have them.
Welcome to Two VAs and a Mic, your guide to making money and serving your community. In our podcast, we'll help you learn about the journey of monetizing your skills and providing your services professionally, all from the comfort of your home.
We also will talk to our business owners, authors, writers, CEOs, and solopreneurs who may use or benefit from using a VA in their business. Boil all that down to two VAs and a mic, and then mix them together with two different perspectives, flared with expertise.
What do you get? Shauntá Harris, founder of Shauntá VA LLC,
and Lovelee Brooks, founder of Lovelee Occasions and Etc. LLC.
We are talking about your landing pages and if they are protected with policies.
As you all have gotten to know me and Lovelee in the Virtual Assistants Alliance, I do talk about privacy policies and disclaimers a lot. When I first started off in my entrepreneur journey, and I would see people creating their landing pages or their website, but they had no information or no legal section on any of those platforms for me to know exactly what they're using my information for. And it is very, very important that you tell your subscribers, your viewers, your page visitors, however you choose to label them, what you are doing with their information, right? That's the whole thing that happened with Facebook. Anybody would create a Facebook account, and then Facebook would just change their privacy policies without notifying all of us millions of individuals that are on that platform, which is how, allegedly they got away with so many different things, which is why they're in court. And when that day happened, that they not broke down, but weren't functioning for those 6 to 9 hours, I seen everyone just scrambling around trying to figure out how are they going to communicate with their businesses. A lot of small business or micro businesses lost a lot of funding, but it all was because of the privacy policies. And that just got me curious. So I did a little deeper dive into privacy policies and realized that for not having them on your website or on your landing page, you can actually get fined. The fine is about $1,000, but nonetheless, you can still get fined for not having that little bit of information on your website or your landing pages to keep your business protected, as well as keeping individuals who comes to your platform protected. Another reason why I got into this is because of TikTok. I don't have TikTok and my daughter doesn't have TikTok. But TikTok privacy policy, they do a lot. And if you are using TikTok, you possibly should read their privacy policies. They tell you point blank that they are recording your IP address, right? And then they are going to tell you when you cross over to another platform, they are copying everything that you're doing on that other platform once you left TikTok by your keystrokes. I hope that made sense to you. That is not okay. However, when you sign up for that platform and you create an account, you give them permissions to do that. I know I couldn't figure out why the former president was banned TikTok, you know, but when I got into privacy policies and understood why, and it's not monitored, which is why the Netherlands and other countries make us have the privacy policies for our newsletters, the GDRP, I believe, so that you are compliant in other countries as well. Okay, I know I just went on a tangent, but I'm very passionate about privacy policies so that you are protected because someone can come to your website, say that they purchased something, and then just want their money back. If you don't have something in your privacy policy on your website or landing page, you have to give them back their money because you didn't tell them a situation of a refund were to happen, you didn't tell them how it would go, right? So that's not going to look good for you as a business owner.
I think we as people, hopefully, especially, I don't want to even say especially entrepreneurs, everybody always needs to read the fine print. It's amazing what people sneak in that fine print, and, we signed off to it and we gave them that permission. And then we didn't realize that we gave them that permission. So many businesses are like that, whether they're online or they're not. When you go into an employment situation, there's certain things in there. There's certain employers that will follow you around on your social media and can use that against you. And you gave them permission somewhere to actually do that in most cases. So it's just also important too, I think, just as we go through this, that I just want to stress that we as people also need to read that fine print because you'd be amazed how much is in fine print. And it's not necessarily hiding, it's just in fine print. And we're just in a rush to get to whatever it is that we want to get to.
Yes, it does. It does be there, right? So when you go on to different platforms, and soon as you go on there, most of them should have a banner that pops up like, do you agree to these cookies? Or do you agree to the privacy policies for information? And they hyperlink their privacy. Read them, you know, read them to make sure that your information is properly being stored, right? If you are an affiliate, I am an affiliate to a lot of different platforms and software. So any landing page or any website that I build, you're going to see a disclaimer there as well as going to be a full page because those companies require us to state that as well. In my bio, I let you know that in any social media bio, I let you know that I'm an Amazon affiliate because I possibly will throw up a book, and if you click onto that and you purchase within 32 hours, I have to let you know I'm going to get a kickback from that. No extra cost to you. However, I still have to let you know that this is not my particular information. You're going to go to a third party's information if you click on this link, right? You have to tell people that as soon as they get onto your website or your landing page, be it at the footer or on a legal document such as privacy or disclaimers. They have to be there, right? And then if you have someone like me that goes on to your website, your squeeze page or your landing page, and I actually like the product, if I don't see a privacy policy there, I won't I won't purchase it. And that's possibly just me. And that's only because I'm into privacy policies. And I understand that some people don't get it, or it's just a step that was overlooked, especially if you get your website to build out. They're not asking you for the privacy policies, right? They're just going to build it out for you because that's what you ask them to do, not to provide the copy for all these different pages unless you request that in the beginning. So I just want everyone to get in the practice of seeing if a platform or a website has a privacy policy and see what they're doing with your information. Because cookies is going to be gone here in the future. And then now we're going to have to figure out a whole nother way of what they're doing and how they're doing it. And like when I use the example of TikTok, they're watching your keystrokes. My keystrokes? So what if I'm in private and, Google has, with a incognito screen, and I don't want nobody knowing. They still are going to capture the keystrokes. So if you are on TikTok and your kids are on TikTok, go into your mobile devices and shut down those cannot follow, cannot track for whatever device that you have. If you don't know how to do that, YouTube it. I protect all of my devices, mine and my daughter's, even my TVs, because you just don't know. And if you don't take the time to read the privacy policies of how they're harboring your information, you're not going to know. Because I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't know TikTok is doing all this with your information, and they not even in the United States. United States don't have no control over what they got, but it's all your information. Just go ahead and take another look and take a look at the any gamings. I have a 13-year-old and she likes Roblox. I did go through their privacy policy, so just to see what they were doing with my kids' information, even though it's logged in under me. I just pay attention and read them and make sure you have them on yours. And there's free generators. It's not like it's a pretty hard task. It's just something to do, something to put on your to-do list if you don't have any. You can get a free generator and then, you can learn how to apply it to your website or landing page.
So give us some scenarios. Like I know you told us that we could be fined $1,000, but also give us some scenarios on, some things I guess that could go wrong if you have landing pages and websites right now and you do not have your policies in place.
A kid could get their parents' credit card and purchase something off of your website. The parents could reach out to you and inform you, I didn't do this, and then come to find out that it was their child. In your privacy policy, do you have a refund? Do you have a section for if children were to do that? Because it happened. Kids do get their parents' credit cards informations and just go wilding out, right? Do you have protection for your business in your privacy policy? I have a section called children. If this were to happen, this is how my company, Shauntay's VA, is going to handle that. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you back half if we find out that it's legitimate. I'm not giving you back 100% because, in my opinion, you should have been watching your kids. It is what it is, but I will give you half back. Make sure you have a situation like that covered. Because I am an affiliate, I have to have their privacy policies in my privacy policy. So if you use Squarespace to take payments in your privacy policy, because it is a third party that affiliates with your company and it takes personal information, you have to put their privacy policy inside of your privacy policy, right? So if they come on your page, they purchase something, but they make the actual payment through Squarespace and something happens on Squarespace, that's not your responsibility, which is why you put their privacy policy on your privacy policy. I hope that made sense. So they have somewhere to reach out to and somewhere where you can refer them to. Another situation would be reply times. Um, if you come to my website and it's under construction, but say you have a gift card that is expiring on that day, how is your business going to handle that? It needs to be in your privacy policy. Everything, questions, besides your frequently asked questions section in your privacy should tell any and everyone that comes to your website what could happen.
Now, for me, it sounds like you're almost trying to answer every question that or situation that could be a possibility. Is that the case of what goes into your privacy policies? Because if so, it seems like that would be hard to cover because
No,
there's.
I don't think everything like that. I think certain things like the children's, yes, it needs to be its own section. And then as far as the refunds, that would be a more of a broader section because there's too many different scenarios. But however, if you were a company that does do refunds, this is how it's gonna go, right? And then cookies, you gotta just give them the definition of cookies. Let them know what cookies is gonna do and how it's gonna track once you leave my platform. And then I have a website and landing pages all over the place. So even though you're not going to be on my specific website, if you do go onto one of my landing pages, it's the same privacy policy, so I'm protected over there too. So it's a broadening of what possibly could happen. It doesn't have to be narrowed down specifically, except for the children one or the refund or the turnaround time for communications.
Okay. So give us the bullet points of what you feel like absolutely has to be covered as your recommendations in our privacy policies to keep us protected.
Your business, right? You have to have your business website. You have to have the contact information. You have to have how you're going to use their data. What third parties are you affiliated with and what their privacy, just link their privacy policies. Those all need to be there. If you are an affiliate, you would have a disclaimer as well as a privacy policy. So in that disclaimer, you just let them know I will get a kickback. however many hours. If you leave my site and choose to go to another site from my page, you do have to have that disclaimer. I stated the children one, how your data is going to be stored and how long. Some platforms choose to store the data for 60 days. Other ones, they will only store it for maybe a week after you leave their platform. And that's once again because of the cookies. However, that works for your business, you would definitely want to put that in there. I think those are the key ones if you want to keep it simple. Now, when you get more into the corporate aspects, I would refer you to a lawyer because that's a little more intricate. But however, it would be worth the money to go to a lawyer for a more extensive company or website. But those were the main bullet points, and cookies, what your cookies is going to do and how it's going to follow.
Awesome. Okay. And we did bring 80s up to the stage. So, how are you doing, 80s? If you want to introduce yourself and give us your share question or.
Good morning. I'm just so glad to get this information and to hear you ladies' expertise in this area. My question specifically was, do you all have boilerplate language or maybe some affiliates that you would refer us to get it for these instances of us setting up our website properly and covering ourselves? Thanks.
You can Google privacy policies or disclaimers, right? It will it would ask you specific questions about where you're choosing to put it or what information you need to put in it, depending on what type of business you have. And you can download it into a PDF. And then from there, I would just YouTube how to apply it or hire someone like me. Sorry, I have to plug myself to set it up on your landing pages or websites. I keep in a Google Doc, I keep all my footers, right? So if I'm creating a landing page, I know what information, if it's like for a low content book or if it's about policies, I have specific footers to go with. I just copy it and put it over there. That way I don't have to redo it. And then just make sure that you have the banner up. The banner is what you call when you first go on to someone's website and it says privacy policies, cookies, you gonna accept this or you're gonna get off my website pretty much. So create that. Or you could have at the bottom in your footer legal. And if somebody clicks on that, they know that it's going to be policies or disclaimers. So there's few different ways you could do it, but definitely just use a free generator. I mean, for the most part, if it's just a simple landing page, a simple website, if it's going to be more intricate, I would suggest a lawyer so that you're 100% covered.
Thank you, ladies. You all are phenomenal. Keep it up.
Awesome. Awesome. In 80s, do you want to share what it is that you do? I'm just curious. I haven't looked at your bio yet, but
Well, I'm a well-rested Black woman. I'm wrapping up my long sabbatical. And now that I'm growing up, I'm starting my business consulting.
okay.
So I'm just really in the incubation this month though. So next month I'll have a whole entity and be a grown up again. Thanks.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you for being here with us today. This is a one of those conversations that I always say is not maybe necessarily the fun part, but you definitely want to start it off on the right foot. And in today's world, I think we all know that people are so happy. And, online, you're dealing with billions of people because there's billions of people online. And you never know what they're used to. You never really know what their thought process is. You just don't know what you're getting I don't like saying it like that. I don't want to say you don't know what you're getting yourself into. It's just you have access and they have access to you. And it's just tons of people out there that we are constantly putting ourselves in front of on this internet. So you do want to protect yourself. You do want to make sure that you are starting off on the right foot. And you do want to make sure that you are checking off all of your checklists, you're crossing your T's, you're dotting your I's as much as possible. And I would say the same thing as far as like a lawyer goes. If you are just starting kind of off, or maybe you haven't started off, but you still have your business and you just kind of put it up there and life has been great and you haven't had any issues, that's fine. But if you know better, do better. So make sure that you have all your policies in check. Make sure that your contracts are correct and that you also know what would happen if XYZ situation happened to your business. And I think that's just as important and in some cases, maybe even more important. So you can help close off some of those loopholes before you actually really have them. So once you get all that stuff in and everything, try to get you a lawyer just to go ahead and look over everything first, after you've put them in place, because we all know they can be expensive. So make sure you do everything that you can first and then have them come back and look at everything. Anything else you would add, Shantae?
No, just have them. A lot of us just don't have them. And just, especially first starting out, that's not on a checklist. When I first started my business and creating landing pages and everything, there was not one single freebie checklist, talk to anyone saying, make sure you have your privacy policies. Not one. So, of course, I'm doing it. But I would suggest anybody, just make sure you have those policies. Because even big companies are not going to pay attention to your website or your landing page as well. You don't have a privacy policy. Like, it's the foundation of your business. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's your protection. Make sure that you have them. Make sure you read the ones when you go to other people' websites and landing pages. Because you know what? Sometimes they're just a template. Because people know that they need to have them and it's just a template. And there is no information, no real information in there because it's not branded or keyed to their business. They just copied it and put it on there because they needed it. No, no. However, I would make sure that you do your due diligence and whatever type of privacy policy you need or disclaimer you need, have it. Have it no matter what you're doing in your business. I know Mr. Brown does insurance. I'm sure on any of his websites or his landing pages, if he doesn't have them, it would have to trigger around insurance as well, right? Because you're talking about people's health and how they can stay healthy or however he does his insurance. That would be in my privacy policy because I'm speaking to you about these things, right? And that's about my business. So you want to make sure that you're covered on all aspects for them reading the information that is on your website. You have to protect that information. If I go to a website for weight loss and you're telling me that I'm going to lose 10 pounds in X amount of days, I'm going to hold you to that. And so it doesn't happen, then I come back at you and you can't refer me to anything as a disclaimer stating this is not facts and everybody's body is different, so it may not affect you in the same way. If that wasn't there, if that disclaimer wasn't there, me as the purchaser has the right to go and come after you for whatever because you didn't say that. You just specifically said, I am going to lose 10 pounds. You didn't tell me it was because of different bodies. I hope that makes sense of where I'm trying to go with that. You have to have those disclaimers and those privacy policies on there so people don't come for you. Okay? So I just strongly advise you to do that. Please do it and tell other people to do it too so that everyone is protected.
Okay, so you guys have heard it and you guys have the information and have what you need. So there's definitely no reason why anybody, at least in this room, should not be protected. You can definitely contact Shantae. That is one of her specialties in her VA services. Is just, she can even come through an audit. If you've already kind of got one or even like a template, she can help you brand it out. So those things are something that she is an expert and specialist at. So you want to make sure that you are definitely protected in all those areas. And I would say, even when you are starting off, some things we're not going to find in a freebie because it's almost too much value. So I would say that just be cautious of that. But when you are really structuring your business, when you get done, or you feel like you're done, because I don't know about you guys, but I know being an entrepreneur is definitely a journey, which means you're never kind of done. So go ahead to a lawyer, one that specializes in businesses. They even have some that specialize in entrepreneurship, and have them look over their information. Now, if they don't tell you about it, that's a whole nother situation. So just make sure you guys got the details of some stuff that isn't talked about as much, that's not out there as much. Make sure that you guys are protecting yourself very much.
Thank you for listening to Two VAs and a Mic.
I'm Shauntá Harris.
And I'm Lovelee Brooks. Until next time.
Until next time, peace.